All right. So good. Wait, Fox had 30 points too? I was not aware that Fox had 30 points tonight. Did he? Yep. What? This game was so ugly, I didn't even realize that. But okay. I'll take it. Not really. What up? What up? That's TTV. TTV got Brian Wright's autograph tonight. So random. Keldon is so bad this game. Keldon is bad all the time. He's either good offensively and terrible defensively, or terrible on both ends. Why didn't Mitch give Biyombo any minutes? Oh, we're going to talk about that. We got to talk about this game. Wright said Pop is okay, y'all. Oh, really? Did you have a full-blown conversation with him? I know it was rumors that he'll be back this month. Did he give you a timetable? TTV? Devin, 7 points in 31 minutes, bro. We're not focused on the players today. Another game in which I can care less about what the players did. Oh, okay. You just asked how Pop was doing. He said he's doing okay. I would have been like, when do you expect Pop to be back? We should have got a 23rd win weeks ago. Well, don't get too greedy, all right? We only had, 21 wins last season? 22? Don't get too crazy. Probably match fitness. He's not playing NBA level games for a long time. Yesterday, Biyombo is going to be backup center on the G League team at this point. I think it only went out for you. I'll sell you the hat client. Oh, was that a hat that you... I thought that was a jersey. Hold on, let me look at it again. I'll show you guys TTV's autograph from Brian Wright. I thought that was a jersey. Let's see. Should I just download it? I don't have to download it. I can just have it like this. Cool. So there's Brian Wright. There's Brian Wright. Genius mastermind that he is. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a hat. I don't know why I glanced and thought, oh, because the jersey right here. Okay, that's why. I thought it was a jersey. Pretty cool. Fasale's contract is better as it goes on, though. Fasale's contract is fine. What drives me crazy is when people say Sohan doesn't deserve a $20 million contract. That drives me crazy. That's like bare minimum in today's NBA that he deserves that. That makes me lose it. Because Keldon makes nearly 20. So, like, come on now. It was cringe watching that game. It's just sad. It was not an enjoyable win. I'll say that. This was probably the first win of the season that I just not that happy about. Like, I felt indifferent. Like, whether we won or lost, I felt indifferent about it. If anything, maybe a loss would have woke woke Mitch Johnson up a little bit. Good God. That's why I'm not happy about this win. Yeah. Hold on. Let me bring something up. Spurs, NBA. You go to the stats. I think I can just go to stats from here. Let's see. Oh, wait. I'm not at the right place. Yeah, this isn't the right place. Hold on. Stats. Let's see. Probably hit him with the 15 minimum and negotiate up. Maybe. I think Sohan is a 20 mil minimum, honestly, for what he brings. I could really care less how fans would feel about it. Seems like a litmus test for knowing whether or not, or how roles work with the Spurs and how important they are. They don't play with enthusiasm either. They seem tired, or at least Wemby seems tired, and even tired Wemby gives you 30 points, which is crazy. All right, let me do this. Let's see, 5th to today, and it should be 4 games now. All right. Okay. Wait. Okay, the stats improved slightly. Actually, it improved a lot. Not a lot. It's still not good. What do the rating thing? But it's gonna show up stupid. We're winning the chip. Larry, you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. All right, diving straight into it. All right, so this game overall, how did I feel about it? All right, going through every single player. Honestly, I don't really care. I feel like everyone played okay. Everyone did fine. Wemby looked tired, but at the end of the day, I mean, he gave you 31 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. That's a bad Wemby. His percentages were really good. 5 for 8 from 3. Like, there's nothing to really say about it. De'Aaron Fox was great, you know, especially down the stretch, because it didn't feel like he had 30 points, but I guess it literally did a lot of that come in the fourth quarter? Hold on. I don't want to be stupid here. Let's see. Let's go to 4th. Control, fine. De'Aaron. Okay, never mind. Let's just do Fox. All right, he ends the game for Steph Castle, and what happens? Got a shooting foul, made a pull-up. That's 2 points. Another 2 points. Another 2 points. So that's 6. Let's see. 7. 9. 10. Okay, so he literally gave you about 10 points in the fourth quarter. So yeah, so a decent chunk of it, almost half of his points came in the fourth quarter. But hey, he's very clutch. That's great. I just don't want us to have to lean on this, right? It felt like this was the same issue we had a few years ago, where we had some vets on the team. Pop really leaned in on the vets, which made sense at the time, only because we didn't have any like true stars. Like, we didn't have a Wemby or whatnot that's going to develop into something crazy. So we just leaned on these vets, and we were pretty bad. We were a pretty bad team. Maybe slightly below mediocre team, and they would just kind of save us by the end of it. And I really don't want that to happen here, and it doesn't have to happen here. So like I said, everyone overall did fine, you know, for all things considered. I don't think that anyone was just absolutely awful. There was no player that I look at and I'm like, oh my goodness, they should have had much better. Like, I just didn't feel that way. But how do I feel though? I feel like Mitch Johnson has been pretty awful. Or wait, what? I mean, that is so random. I'm eating Superman ice cream right now. That is so random. Oh, Keldon. Yeah, Keldon did horrible, but like, that's like every game, y'all. I mean, offensively, he'll have games that look pretty decent, and I'll come out and like, oh, okay, yeah, he did fine offensively, but he's just kind of making up for his bad defense. It's always like a catch-up game. Mitch Johnson almost kills my excitement. I've seen people say that he should be fired, and I don't agree with that because he's an assistant coach. It's not like he applied for the head coaching job or, he's supposed to be the coach right now or anything like that. He's probably a very great assistant. Usually when Pop puts the people around him, they're really great minds and they bring something to the team. So I think I would just kind of leave it up to him, like what he wants to do, whether he wants to explore other coaching opportunities as a head coach for other teams or if he just wants to continue with us. But I definitely think he should come back if he's down to stay. Like, he should come back. But as a head coach right now, it just seems like he's completely leaning on Chris Paul and the other vets. And I don't like it. And I know young coaches do this often, but it's getting to the point where it's detrimental. We're winning in spite of the lineups. It makes no sense. Now, I know that Biyombo just got with the team, and usually I would sit back and say, okay, well, we can wait till the second or third game, for him to, get used to being around the Spurs facility. Or he's not even with the Spurs facility. He'll be on the road. But just getting used to everything. But he's on a 10-day contract. So why not play him? We have him for less than 2 weeks currently. So why not just play him? July said he's on a 10-day contract. At least give him a few. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're on a 10-day contract. Just play him. What are you? He's doing this very similar to how he does his timeouts. He just holds on to them. What are you holding on to? What are you worried about? I don't get it. I'll say this again, and people don't necessarily agree with me on this, but Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham not seeing any minutes whatsoever is ridiculous. You need to find a way to be a little bit more creative with your lineups here. Was it necessary? This game, we all watched the game. Was it necessary for Chris Paul? We'll allow the eye test to do the work here. Was it necessary for Chris Paul to have 33 minutes in this game? This did not feel like a 33-minute game for Chris Paul, that we needed him in the game that long. He was giving up open threes. I mean, yeah, he had 9 assists, but I have no doubt in my mind that you would have just got that from De'Aaron Fox. And the biggest issue that I have with these lineups is this starting lineup makes no sense whatsoever. You're not leaning on your identity. Your identity as a team is defense, or at least it should be, with Victor Wembanyama and Sohan being anchors, and with Steph Castle being a really good defender. You're not leaning on that aspect. As far as scoring-wise and pace and leadership, I guess leadership possibly, but pace makes no sense. Chris Paul constantly wants to slow the game down, while De'Aaron Fox wants to go 150 miles per hour. You have two ideologies combating each other mid-game. And I don't mean that like it's controversy or controversial or confrontation. That's what I meant to say. I don't think there's confrontation between the two, but you can obviously see it. It's very blatant that De'Aaron Fox is getting down the court. It just seems like you're making extra steps for no reason. Like, you give Chris Paul the ball, he runs the offense, he slows it down, and he inevitably ends up giving it to De'Aaron Fox anyways on a cut, or him getting the ball and just trying to make something happen. And it's just like, okay, we just wasted time on the clock, where if De'Aaron Fox was bringing the ball down the court, if he saw any type of opening, he would have took it immediately. I mean, for good God, man, free throw attempt 18. He took 18. That's how often he was trying to go downhill and get in that paint. He took 18 free throws. I don't get why we're playing them together. I don't think you get a benefit defensively. You don't get a benefit offensively. I don't know what we're doing. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is you're playing politics with the lineup, where Chris Paul, he was promised that he would get a plethora amount of minutes, which is fine. I think he should still get minutes, but I don't know why the promise is you have to start. He shouldn't have to start. It makes no sense. You need to lean on your identity, and you need to lean on the fact that you have multiple point guards. What was the point of getting rid of Trey Jones? If Chris Paul was just going to start, then what was the point of getting rid of Trey Jones? And I love Steph Castle, but Steph Castle is not ready to be a primary point guard. And we're running lineups out there where Steph Castle has to be the primary like facilitator. And I don't understand that when you have Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox on the team. And I understand to a degree that Jeremy Sohan has to run center right now. You know, it just is what it is. He'll look much better, even though he had a good game. He'll look much better when he's in his natural position. He looked good when he was out there with Wemby. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have a lineup out there that doesn't have a point guard if Steph Castle's the main point guard. You don't have to do that. Put Steph out there with Chris. I don't get it. I don't get it. Nothing makes sense. It doesn't make sense from the eye test. It doesn't make sense statistically. Now, it has improved because of this game slightly. But I mean, it's still not enough, right? Like Kendrick Lamar is not enough. Look at this. 120 offensive rating to 122 defensive rating. Don't quite get it. This is the starting lineup, mind you. 49 minutes of this with a net rating of -2. Makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense whatsoever. I was trying to find the other one. There was one with Sohan and Wemby. It looks like it got moved around a little bit. But here's another starting lineup. Chris Paul, not starting lineup, but just lineup in general. Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox, which I don't like him being out there with Paul. But the inclusion of Sohan gets your defensive rating at an 88.9. Where's the one with Sohan and Wemby? Is it this one? Yeah, this one. I like this one. You can kind of hide Keldon a little bit. I don't like not having a point guard. So you can probably replace Keldon with Chris Paul, honestly, and I'll be okay with it. But you got Steph Castle, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Victor Wembanyama, and defensive rating at 82. So you lose quite a bit of your offensive rating, but your defense is way better. But I just think the Spurs should just lean on their defensive identity. But yeah, but at the end of the day, sorry, I can't speak. Biyombo not playing is also just insane. When you don't have him for that long, for the time being, just throw him out there. I'm getting tired of seeing these DNP coaches' decisions. Spurs will never show their hand before playoff contention. You should know this. Playoff contention? We're talking playoffs? We almost lost to the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards are 9-44. Maybe you should show your hand a little bit more. Maybe you should show the whole deck. No way. I want to believe that we can make the playoffs, right? But like, I'm at the point now where after this game, I'm depleted. I don't know. I just think it's pretty obvious that this is a bad starting lineup. It's a lineup that doesn't make sense. Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox, they run the offense completely different. And you're trying to do this point guard by committee, and I don't get it. I don't know why you have to do this. You don't have to do it. You got De'Aaron Fox. Either send De'Aaron Fox or Chris Paul to the bench. If Chris Paul has to start no matter what, then De'Aaron Fox needs to go to the bench. Everyone knows that that's stupid. So they're not going to do that. Chris Paul needs to be moved. He needs to be moved. And I'm assuming Sohan is still on minutes restriction. I'm assuming. But Malachi and Blake not playing at all is kind of crazy. I would feel more, I know this might sound crazy, but I would feel more comfortable with Malachi or Blake Wesley if you're going to go with this awful lineup, them getting minutes and being able to run the offense at times. Blake Wesley's actually pretty decent at it. And Malachi is a good pick and roll ball handler. So I don't think Sohan's on minutes restriction. I think he just benched him. Are you serious? I thought it was the minutes restriction thing from the injury. Then that makes it even worse. There's no reason Sohan should not be getting minutes. You can say what you want, but there's no reason. People that think Sohan is bad or just don't know basketball. Like, there's no reason. Barnes should stay in the starting lineup. If Sohan needs to start, then put Fasale on the bench and put Barnes at small forward. No. This is what the lineup should be. This is what the lineup should be. It should be De'Aaron Fox, Devin Fasale, Harrison Barnes, Sohan, Victor Wembanyama. You have a very balanced team. You have someone who can get to the rim in De'Aaron Fox and a pick and roll player, in which we have Jeremy Sohan, who's top 3 in pick and roll finishes. You have De'Aaron Fox, one of the best pick and roll playmakers in the NBA. You have Victor Wembanyama, who can stretch the floor. You have Sohan, who can cut extraordinarily well. You have Devin Fasale, who can stretch the floor. And you have Harrison Barnes, who can stretch the floor. You have a pretty balanced team. And defensively, you're pretty good. Devin Fasale isn't a great on-ball defender. Like, he's not the best on-ball defender. He's not a bad one. But he's really good in the lanes. You got De'Aaron Fox, who plays okay defense. You know, he's not crazy, but he's a okay defender. And then you have two really great defenders in Vic and Sohan. And then you have Harrison Barnes, who, plays old man defense. I'll say that. It was clear as day when we had Sohan next to Wemby what the difference is. It's crazy, bro. You should just start off with your best lineup. Keeping Chris Paul, it just feels like you're forcing it. I don't want to win in spite of coaching. I want to win because of coaching. And at this point, I don't want to just sit back and just blame the players, because I would like for our coaching staff to put us in the best position to win. Keldon Johnson putrid. Keldon Johnson was horrible, but I didn't have my expectations super high, or I never had my expectations that high. He so badly wants Sohan at the 5, and I think you're limiting what he does when you do that. Well, Sohan, I guess that's a double-edged sword when it comes to him, because he's so versatile that, you can kind of experiment a little bit. Like, let's see if he can run a little bit of point. And I think that did help him. I think the Sohan experiment at point actually did help him. I think he's seeing way more things on the court. It definitely helped his IQ, and he already had a high basketball IQ. And then run him as center, I think that's more because of necessity. Like, I think we just kind of have to do that. I don't think it's a experiment or anything. Agreed, but second unit would suffer. Patience, Danielson. Who's Daniel? Is that a reference? Is that a reference to something? I don't think our second unit suffers by doing that. You don't have to, if you take De'Aaron Fox out, you put in Chris Paul, I don't think that you suffer. I think you actually add on to the depth of doing that. Right now, you're forcing a lot of players in positions that are quite uncomfortable, right? Steph Castle he can on occasion, but he can't run an offense by himself yet. There's no point in that. Have him come in with Chris Paul. And I don't think you suffer that much. And Sohan has been shown to be able to play lots of minutes, and if he's not on minutes restriction, then this is inexcusable. 21 minutes for your second best defender is absolutely asinine. It makes no sense. I 100% think Jeremy is versatile, but I think he's most effective when you let Jeremy be Jeremy. Of course. I think putting him in that starting lineup and putting him at the power forward will allow Jeremy to be Jeremy. My biggest issue with all this, I saw some really bad matchups out there, but I think it starts with this. It starts with putting Chris Paul in the starting lineup. I don't get it. I can't think of one good reason to do that. And if you're going to do that, then throw De'Aaron Fox on the bench. And everyone knows that's a bad move. Just trying to play both sides here. What was the point? It makes me believe that if we had another veteran, another point guard veteran that the Spurs added, they would take Devin Vassell out of the starting lineup and just play 3 point guards. I don't get this. De'Aaron Fox isn't a great shooting guard. He's fine, but I don't think he's a great shooting guard. We benefit more with the ball in his hands, putting pressure on the rim. Yeah, that too. Chris Paul keeps leaving his man open on the perimeter. I don't understand why he's helping in the paint, respectfully. Doesn't make a lot of sense. 33 minutes in this game in particular Chris Paul shouldn't have had 33 minutes, y'all. I'm sorry. I watched it. I tried to pay attention to his impact. 33 minutes was not that was not worth it. Chris Paul, a Hall of Famer, he ain't listening. Okay, with all due respect, if Chris Paul's not listening, then cut him. Real talk. If it's like that, you buy him out. If our coaching staff can't say, hey, Chris, this is actually what help us win, you go to the bench. And I'm not saying Chris Paul's doing this, right? This is all hypothetical, but just being honest with you. If they come to Chris Paul and say, hey, we need you to come off the bench, that'll actually help us towards winning, and he says, no, I don't want to do that, then you buy him out. Like, just buy him out. I don't care anymore. Just buy him out. What good is that going to do? He'll be so good off the bench. It just makes the most sense. We have so much depth that way. And also, if you're afraid to play Malachi, afraid to play Blake Wesley, I mean, you should feel a little bit more comfortable playing them with Chris Paul on the court, I would think. I don't know. Doing a 3-guard lineup of Fox, CP3, Castle is a disservice to all 3 players. I agree. I don't want to roll with that. I'm okay with Castle being out there with Chris Paul, but shoot, even if you said I want Sohan to stay on the bench, then we need to figure something out. Just add something to this team, because right now we're lacking offense with the starting lineup and we're lacking defense. Helping the offense would be taking Chris Paul out of the lineup, because him and De'Aaron Fox, they just play 2 different types of games. They run the offense completely different. So take Chris Paul out, and even if you plugged in, which I don't want to do this, I think even if you plugged in Julian Champagnie and just let De'Aaron Fox run the offense, you have better offense. I don't want to do that, though. I will want either Steph Castle or Jeremy Sohan to start and add on to that defense. Too late in the season, Chris Paul is going to finish starting. He'll most likely be gone next season unless he accepts the bench. He needs to accept that bench. I don't even know if it's been brought up, honestly. I don't even know if Mitch Johnson has even thought to bring that up. Castle should be starting. Either way, Castle or Sohan should be starting. It doesn't really matter to me. I just think either one makes the offense, actually, I'll just say offense and defense better. Just by virtue of De'Aaron Fox being able to run it. It's evident that Mitch is too scared to bench Chris Paul. I think Mitch Johnson is just too comfortable with his guys. I think he's just too comfortable. There's no reason you should barely win against the Washington Wizards. Mitch is 38. Chris Paul is 39. That is kind of crazy. Sonority. Chris Paul slapping him in the locker room. If Chris Paul doing all that, then he needs to bounce. It's time to buy him out. Castle is just developing at a rapid rate, and I don't know how he doesn't start. His 3-point improvement should show that. I don't know. How do you know Mitch makes those lineup decisions? Oh my goodness. And who makes them? That's even a bigger problem. He's interim head coach right now. He should be making lineup decisions. That's like bare minimum as a coach to make lineup decisions. Pop does. You think Pop is okay? Just from us knowing Pop for so long, at least from outside looking in, I don't really get the vibe that Pop would do that. I think Pop would give Mitch Johnson some leniency and let him coach the way that he wants to coach while he's literally recovering from a stroke. I don't think Pop is doing all that. Pop changed the starting lineup all the time. Pop also played Malachi and Blake Wesley. So that's another reason why I'm like, this is probably Mitch. He just doesn't feel comfortable with certain lineups. It's very evident what he's doing here. Like, look at who plays. Look who gets minutes. Look at this game. Victor Wembanyama, that's a safe bet, right? He's going to get a lot of minutes. That's easy. Chris Paul, he's a veteran. He gets minutes. De'Aaron Fox, he's a veteran. He gets minutes, which he needs them right now. Devin Vassell, he's been with the team pretty long, so he gets minutes. Harrison Barnes, he gets minutes. He's a vet. Then everyone else is just, they're kind of just there, And then Keldon, he's just, Keldon's hard to play sometimes for defensive purposes. So it just kind of matters. He's like a day-to-day. Like if Keldon's on that day, then he gets more minutes. But yeah, it's very evident what he's doing. I think he just got too comfortable. Young coaches usually do that. He played Malachi when Vassell was injured. When was that? How far back are we going, my man? Hold on, guys. When did Pop have his stroke? You guys know? I think October. Okay, so we went in October. He played him a little bit. I wish this showed all the games that we had so we could see all the games he didn't play. Yeah, it's just as time went on, he got more and more comfortable with his guys. He's tightened up his lineup, almost like we're in the playoffs. Like he's treating it like we're in the playoffs. No, he's barely played. You got November here. You got a few games over 15 minutes. And then the month of December, you got 2 games over 15 minutes. Everything else seems like it's just garbage time. And then you have January, that's nothing but garbage time. He's barely played. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 games on this long season that Malachi Branham has gotten more than 15 minutes. And just about the rest of it is garbage time. You can find a way to implement him into the offense. He's an NBA player. He's not an end of the bench third stringer. I don't think that. I think he's talented enough that you could find a use for him. At the very least, it'll be good for, other guys to be able to rest a little bit. Malachi showed me he had improved defense and was efficient. He could definitely be implemented. Let's not get into the mindset. If Keldon, as streaky and as bad as he's been as far as shooting, he's one of the worst outside shooters in the NBA. That's not me just saying that or being hyperbolic. Literally, he is. Statistically, he is. If you can find use for Keldon, which I agree, I think you can find use for Keldon on this roster for now, right? There's no doubt in my mind that you can find use for Malachi Branham, a very good three-point shooter. The times he has played this season, over 30 games played, 40% from 3. Now, obviously, that would go down a little bit. I think that he would come back down to earth, maybe like 36, 35. But he's nearly a 40% three-point shooter on the season right now. But like I said, he takes more, he'll come back down to earth. But last season, he was 35. You don't have any like use for him? I don't buy that. And I really don't buy Blake Wesley. As many times as our perimeter defense looked rusty, that you couldn't find any minutes for him either. I don't know. Can't wait to be free from Malachi talks by the time of the trade. Well, that's not even my main focus here. My main problem are these lineups. Whether you play Malachi or not, if you just play the guys that you have, that's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. But in this game, 33 minutes is crazy for Chris. That was not necessary. You want to have a 12-man rotation? No, you don't have to have a 12-man rotation. I'm just saying this rotation right here is terrible. These lineups are terrible. It's like we're going through the most least optimal lineups and running it. This right here, Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, Barnes, Vassell, and Wemby, a total of 49 minutes over the period of 4 games. That's the group that you ran the most. Doesn't make sense to me. It's just bad. I don't know what to say. It's just bad. You can disagree with the Malachi and Wesley stuff. I can care less. Like I don't care about them, necessarily playing or not. I think it's just the overall mindset that our coaching staff has right now, where you're only going to play your guys. And the worst part about all of this is even if you did try to implement them right now, they're going to look bad. They haven't played. I have the vibe that he will play them, they would look bad, and then we'll never see him ever again. Just throw him in the void. Yeah, they're bad. Malachi and Wesley are not the answer. I'm not saying they're the answer. I'm not saying Malachi and Blake plays and then all of a sudden we start winning more games. That's not the point. The point is just utilizing your roster to the best of your ability. And right now, hanging on to this isn't working. It's ugly. It's ugly basketball. Today was ugly basketball. Mamu getting minutes. You couldn't get any rebounds when Mamu was out there. So he didn't play that long. Oh, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that bad news. Atlanta. Magic couldn't take care of business? Is this all Trae Young? Dude, they need to sit Trae Young for the season. They're obviously planning to trade him, right? They need to sit that man. God, they're 8th seed right now. Let's see. All right, we beat them, which was great. I didn't realize they beat the Bucks. They beat the Wizards. And they beat the Magic. Good God. They did look like a competitive team versus us, though. All right, well, they still got some tough ones. Gosh, they need to sit Trae Young. They won 2 in a row. They won 3 in a row, my friend. They won 3 in a row. Hawks got better. Yeah, they played us and all of a sudden they got better. No Hunter, no problem. That's very scary. But hopefully it catch up to him. It should catch up to him soon. The rest of their schedule isn't the easiest. There's a few easy games in here, but it's not the easiest. Every team looks competitive versus us. That's why you need to lean on your identity. all of our efficiency, like the efficiency landscape, went down significantly over the course of the last like 10 games. I don't know. Anyways, it's the end of the segment here. When will Biombo play? Hopefully Wednesday. I mean, we only have him for like a few hours. Like, I don't understand how you have him on a 10-day contract and not play him like day one when you desperately need a center. I don't get it. Just do it. Yeah, anyways. All right. Next order of business. I probably need to do this update because I didn't go over this. So, honestly, hold on. Actually, let's see. I probably need to let me bring up the other clip. Let's go media. Is this real? Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is real or not. But I brought this up to you guys not that long ago. You remember that little bit of a controversy with De'Aaron Fox, or amongst Kings fans, that they were really upset because they felt like he really forced his way out of the Sacramento Kings to get to the San Antonio Spurs or whatnot. And then you have that clip of him saying that he texts Steph Castle and said, "Hey, you're part of the reason why I want to be there." Don't know if this is real. I have no idea where this came from. Apparently this is their text messages. I don't know. Where Castle says, "Yo, brother, this Steph, lock me in, gang. Let's get to it." And then you had Fox sending back, ready to hit the ground running. "You're a big part of the reason I wanted to be there." And then he said, "Means a lot, bro. Love your game." Now, a lot of Kings fans thought from a specific quote that what had happened was that De'Aaron Fox were setting things up behind the scenes, in which they end up calling him a snake in the grass, and he didn't take too kindly to that. All right, he was pretty upset, and he tweeted out, "You guys have no idea what you're talking about." But this is the clip that upset them.
Like, I want Steph here. Then I texted him that. I told him, "You're a big reason why I wanted to come here." So that's a big thing about it, being able to play with Vic and being able to play with Steph, and even Dev and Keldon, and a lot of those guys being able to play with HB again, and even CP still being here.
All right, so he pissed off a lot of people, which I saw that as, oh, he was just talking about texting him after the fact he got traded. I didn't see that as he was tampering. That was not the case. And we know that the Kings were looking to move him, and we knew De'Aaron Fox wasn't necessarily happy with the Kings, right? He said that he wants to win. He wants the organization to get their act together. That's why he didn't sign that extension. And we sat back and we're like, usually when a player publicly says that they want their franchise to start thinking about winning, a franchise isn't going to just magically change the way that they operate and magically start to win. We know that the Kings have been, no offense to Kings fans, losers for a very long time. 16 years without the playoffs, crazy. 16 seasons, no playoffs is crazy. And constantly drafting guards when you don't need them, crazy. But anyway, so he went back and forth with Damian Barling here, and it's this guy right here. And he called him a snake in the grass, right? And then that's when De'Aaron Fox responded and said, "You guys don't know what you're talking about." You know, just I'm making it a PC version. Okay, all right, this is a clean version. And then they end up having a conversation, and this is what came out of the conversation. So now we're getting the scoop on what happened, but I have a vibe that we already know what kind of happened, but whatever. Oh, I can't hear that. Hold on. I have to listen real close. I'll turn it up for you guys though.
Contract negotiations for Mike Brown. They did not want to. The reason the contract negotiations they win is because the front office didn't want to re-sign Mike Brown. And De'Aaron basically said, if you don't, like, send me, I'm not playing for another coach. Like, we're not going to keep doing this. If Mike's not coming back, then send me somewhere else. And obviously, I guess begrudgingly, whatever, the front office winds up signing Mike Brown. We know how that story ends. And Mike gets fired. De'Aaron took that as, okay, I told them before the season started, if they move, if they're not bringing back Mike Brown, move me.
Very low. This is literally the best I can do. I got it turned up all the way. And by the way, that was something that a lot of Kings fans were trying to use against him, saying that he forced his coach out, which that was not the case. And even me not being a Kings fan, I knew that when it happened. Oh, okay. So Fox sent that screenshot. Okay, so the screenshot is real. Okay, cool.
I take this as they're moving on from me. They know how I feel. De'Aaron said as much in Los Angeles. I think he said it to Sean Cunningham. The front office knows how I feel. De'Aaron was, in fact, from his own words, pissed off that he was left to answer questions about this, especially coming off of the heels of that Detroit game, where Mike said what he said, the game ended the way that it did, and everyone's emotions are sky high. So the fact that he had to be the one to answer questions the day of that Lakers game, yes, that absolutely bothered him. The season had been spiraling, everything had been spiraling, and it's all compounded by the fact he told them, if you move on from Mike Brown, I don't want to be here.
Yep, not respecting your players.
I asked him directly, did you have it in your mind that you wanted to leave Sacramento before the season started? Definitively, without hesitation, he said no. And then he goes into the Supermax. I said, D, you don't have to explain that to me. I get it. I understand how the business works. And I know you don't listen. I know you're responding to a tweet. We've had your back this entire way. We never thought you declining the Supermax meant anything. And then I asked him when was the first time he really honestly thought he was leaving Sacramento. He said it was when they fired Mike. So when they fired Mike, that's when I knew I'm probably leaving Sacramento, because I told them, if you fire Mike Brown, I want out. He didn't reiterate it to him. He didn't say it to him again. He told him before the season, if you fire Mike Brown, I want out. When they fired Mike Brown, he immediately thought, I'm leaving Sacramento. I'm out of Sacramento. He also told me he didn't expect to get traded during the season. He wasn't trying to finesse a trade during the season. When all of this started happening,
I think it's kind of embarrassing. Like, no offense, but I think it's kind of embarrassing that he even tweeted out that he's a snake in the grass when we're sitting back and we paid attention to what was going on, and not once did I get the impression that he was forcing his way out of the Kings. Even stuff that I heard and stuff that I knew about the situation, he was not forcing himself out of the Kings. The Kings were open to discussions on moving him, and the Spurs were always kept their eyes on that situation, because our foresight is kind of crazy. I would take Mike Brown every day of the week. Mike over Mitch. Well, yeah, Mike Brown will be a better coach than Mitch Johnson, but, have to wait and see.
He was like, well, I'm getting traded this offseason. He was like, I did not.
A live stream poll of what? Maybe we can do it for the next segment. What would the poll be? Oh, Mike Brown or Mitch Johnson? Come on. We know how this is going to go. But fine. Come on. All right. Let's see here. Start poll. Who would... Come on. But hey, maybe it'll be a little lopsided. because we just won. I don't know. There you go. You ask and you shall receive. Go back a little bit.
He wasn't trying to finesse a trade during the season. When all of this started happening, he was like, well, I'm getting traded this offseason. He was like, I did not want to get traded during the season. That's what he told me. We had other discussions. It was a 20-some-odd minute conversation. It was a perfectly pleasant conversation. And I told him, and I don't have no problem saying this on the air, that tweet seemed to have really bothered him. And so I apologized to him. I said, that was my opinion.
Man, what a ill-informed opinion that was.
Negotiations for Mike Brown.
And I think he deleted the tweet since, but I still have it. Here, I'll just show you. Let's see. I screenshotted that bad boy because I already knew. I was like, yeah, it's got the making of someone regretting what they post. Well, mainly De'Aaron Fox regretting what he posted, because there we go. Fox in the grass. So just straight up call him a snake in the grass. Insane to have that opinion. Messina is a great option too. Messina would be phenomenal. I just don't know what he's up to nowadays. When people say Becky or Mike Brown or whatever, I always want Messina. I want to coach Messina for a very long time. It's hard to keep up with coaches when they're no longer in the NBA. ...2019 article here that says Messina never got the chance he deserved in the NBA. I hope he's hungry for it, man. That would be a dream come true. Messina being coach would be a dream come true for me. I would take him over Becky and Mike Brown. He's very creative with his lineups as well. All these things where I'm getting upset about our rotations, he would fix that. He would fix that. All right, let's look at this poll. I'm actually shocked. Okay, you guys probably can't see this one. There you go. Actually quite shocked. Mike Brown only got 83%. I'm actually quite shocked. I'm not the biggest Mike Brown fan, by the way. So I want Udoka. You want Udoka right after you had to deal with the whole Primo scandal? I'm okay, man. I don't want any more scandals. I do not want any more scandals. Obviously, it's not as bad, but it's yeah. You're doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. Pop will be back next year. I don't know, man. Udoka didn't do anything illegal. Of course it wasn't illegal. Was in a consensual relationship, right? I don't know that. I'll be honest with you. I don't really know the details of it. I just know the power dynamic makes it a little weird. And it was against rule policy. So I'll take Udoka in a heartbeat. I feel you. I feel you. Your morality doesn't have to be on 120, okay? It's fine. I thought he had an affair with a higher-ups partner. Is that what it was? Was he already married too? Show me a man that ain't slipped once. Popovich. Greg Popovich. That's the standard I'm holding him to. Greg Popovich. He was never married? Oh, okay. I don't know. Yes, owner's partner. Oh, it was the owner's partner? He messed with the owner's partner, y'all? Come on. That's just as bad. That's just as bad as Tony. That's just as bad. Somebody higher up there. That's just as bad as Tony. Oh, just kidding. He was divorced at the time. I'm so confused. What? Oh, he was divorced when he... Okay. No, not owner's partner. Affair with owner's wife. Okay, you guys are all over the place. See? No one knows. You all have facts wrong. See? No one knows. No one knows what happened. See, Melissa's like, y'all are wrong. No one knows. No one knows. We just know it's a scandal. We don't know the details. I don't really care. I just wouldn't care that much. I told you. Look, I told you who I want. I want Messina. All right, that's what I want. It was an affair. We all know that. We all know it was an affair. But at the end of the day, I want Messina. That's a dream. Anything else, I'm low-key settling. She was just a part of the organization. Messina will be good. He will be perfect. D'Antoni is available. Who wants D'Antoni? He would completely go against what we do, like our identity or what the identity we're building. D'Antoni hates defense. Don't bring D'Antoni anywhere near my team. You take Udoka over Messina? Oh my goodness. I don't know why you would do that. Why would you do that? Yeah, it's fine. They worked together. They were both on that Spurs bench. What a crazy great bench we had of coaches. But I think Messina is a better coach than Udoka. He just didn't get an opportunity. Udoka all day over Messina. That's just because y'all know Udoka better. Messina was the man. Coach Clan. I can coach. You guys want me to coach? I'll coach the team. I'll lead us to a 0-82 season. Make sure we get a good draft pick. And that's me trying. Don Nelson. Get those texts. I'll get a tech every game. Easy paycheck. I'll come in quarter one, curse out the refs, go home. The next game, do it all over again. Clay gonna cause Wemby to say nah. Wemby will respect me because of all those texts. Oh, Spo isn't leaving the Heat. Come on now. Udoka was the only one that got caught. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Oh my goodness. Thanks for the super chat, man. What the heck? I was at the Hornets game here in Charlotte. Hey, well, I guess TTV might not be in the chat anymore. Chase might not be in the chat anymore, but he was there too. Exciting game, but heartbreaking ending. I like our team. We're close. Maybe one more piece. We're not one more piece, but not too many pieces. We're like two more pieces away. We need a small forward and we need a legitimate backup center. Like those are the two pieces we need. And then we need to figure out the coaching situation because that kind of terrifies me. That really terrifies me. Yeah, all right. On to the next. What does that mean? All these cats got fishing lines? What does that mean? I'm not familiar with this slang. I'm ending this poll. 75% of people said Mike Brown. 25% said Mitch Johnson. Unless that one piece is flag. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. All right. Okay. All right. Last order of business. Okay. Let's get rid of some of the negativity. This should be pretty fun. So this was sent to me by Urameshi, and he said you need to check out this clip. Apparently, Gigi Jackson talks about Victor Wembanyama and trash talking with him, which I thought that this was an old clip because I remember Gigi Jackson talking about him before, but no, this is February 4th, literally about a week ago. Only 6,000 views, so I guess not a lot of people talked about it. I didn't see anybody mention this. So I am eager to hear what does trash talk look like for Wemby. We know what it looked like for Timmy. Timmy was really quiet and he'll say something slick. Manu Ginobili will be overly nice. Like, I don't know, like he'll cross you over and say, yeah, that was some really good defense, and that'll piss people off. I don't think Tony talked a lot of trash. And then we know that Sohan is really slick with it, so he doesn't get any texts. But he says little things or pinch you here and there, like very irritating. I seen it. Oh, okay. Bobby Shmurda reference? Did I make a Bobby Shmurda reference? I did it on accident. Saw this on FanDuel with Michelle Beadle. Oh, okay. So you guys have seen it. Okay.
Way off.
Way off, Lou.
Hey, Gigi, I wanna ask you. Last night was your third time playing against Wemby. He had 27 and 10, but you guys went away with that.
That's Lou Williams talking.
The win. Has he improved every single time you've seen him play so far? He just keep adding to his bag.
I feel like he has. Naturally, people still gonna be like, bruh, stop meat riding and all that. Like, he's catching it, fading over.
The fact that teams were afraid to pick up Gigi Jackson is so dumb to me.
For 4 dudes at the same time. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, he's catching at the 3-point line, no drip lay. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, bruh. But and I feel like he's gotten bigger. I feel like he knows how to use his body a little bit more.
And I was really looking forward to this upcoming offseason because I thought it would even improve like 3 times as much, but he'll be playing in Europe over the offseason. So curious what that's going to look like.
On certain inbounds plays, if he'll, you know how they'll, if they can't find any quick ones, they'll just throw it to the big and like come off for a handoff. He's taking that one dribble at the rim or like one dribble getting fouled. So I feel like he's improved, and even just from an outside view, just watching the entire season, he's just been phenomenal. Yeah. So
I mean, you matched him with a season high 27. Was it any, and a bunch of highlights, by the way? Was it any trash talk in that game? Does he talk trash?
Nah, he'll say like little quick words here and there.
Oh my goodness, he's Tim Duncan. Oh my goodness, he's Tim Duncan.
Nah, he'll say like little quick words here and there, like an F-bomb or dang it. Really
okay.
Hard,
look, that gets Beetle going. Beetle didn't even know he cursed. Beetle thought he goes to choir in church.
I know, but F-bomb to dang it is like, those are 2 different words.
Dang it.
I fell on his shoulder going after a loose ball, and guys like soccer players try to get a little bit extra time. They rolling all over the ground and stuff. So I'm trying to walk by like get your ass, get up, bro. Stop all that playing. And now I walked past him. He was oh no, you gave me a good back crack, and then came and hit like a 40-foot 3. I was like, wow, like wow.
It's kind of dumb. All right, Sunday played against the Bucks, and
that's not trash talk. What, like, see, I don't know. Wemby's been getting accused of being a flopper recently.
Stop all that playing.
I don't agree with it, but.
And now I walked past him. He was oh no, you gave me a good back crack, and then came and hit like a 40-foot 3. I was like, wow, like wow.
It's kind of dumb. All right, Sunday played against the Bucks, and last time you were on, talk about.
All right, that's good stuff. That's cool. Gigi seems like a good. No, he's actually a good kid. Like, he's actually a cool kid. I can't even remember why they were afraid of drafting him. G.G. Jackson teams afraid to draft. Oh, is there an article on this? Oh, here we go. According to reports, some NBA teams were hesitant to draft G.G. Jackson due to the concerns about his maturity and consistency, particularly because he entered the draft after only 1 year of college, leading to questions about whether he was ready for the professional level. This resulted in him falling further down the draft. I think it was more to it than just that, because he should have been high in that draft. I feel like it was more than that. It might have been due to... It has something to do with his background. I don't know. Oh well. Glad you're getting the recognition now. It's crazy. It's crazy how players have to be marketable before they even step foot in college. It's insane, dude. He's getting those extra breaths. I don't blame him. Yeah, women can get pushed easily. People don't understand his body type. That's true too. I just wish women would fight through some of the contact a little bit more, some of the resistance. He gets a little bit of resistance, then he passes it up. That happens really often. He's ranked #1 coming out of high school. I'm with GG. We need Kings to lose. We need the Kings to lose? DeRozan hits game winner. Wait, why do we need the Kings to lose? I know we have a Kings swap, but isn't that like 20... That's a while from now. Why do we need the... Can someone explain that to me? Who's watching Luka? Oh yeah, Luka's on right now, isn't he? 9:30 game is crazy. Standings? Oh. For playoff standings? Oh, that's what you mean. I understand. Yeah, we need them to lose. We need Suns to lose. We're not that far off. This is why I don't understand where people are like, oh, playoff hopes are dead. I don't know what they're getting that from. Like the Kings, for instance, they're at the 9th spot. They have 3 more wins than us and 2 less losses. Spurs go on a run. We're fine. We just have to be better than 500 because these teams are going to continue to be 500. Maybe not the Warriors. The Warriors might be a little bit better. But for the most part, you know, Suns and Kings, they're going to continue to be 500. We just got to be better than 500. Well, kind of much better than 500. Yeah. Anyways, Kellyanne. Yeah. It's. I'm gonna add to it. Don't worry. I'm gonna add to it. Kellyanne. It's been really busy. And in segment, we still have a chance. Of course, yeah, still have a chance. 23-28 to 26-26. I mean, why would we not have a chance? That's super close. You just have to go on a run. Each loss makes it slimmer, though. That is true. You can't be losing. You can't be losing against the Magic when you should have won that game, and you can't be losing against the Hornets. You can't do that. By 1 point, mind you. This is why I'm saying I think it's just coaching. It's the lineups. These games are so close. When if you're watching the game, you can recognize that it shouldn't be that close. We had margins within the last 3 games before this. That's BS. We're winning. We win in spite of coaching right now. 4-0 is crazy. It really is. We'll have that running mad momentum. Yeah, and things look really bad right now too because we're on the road. But no excuse. You gotta find a way to win. Do you think that we're 2 players away from something serious? I think we're 2 players away from playoffs. Like making the playoffs, maybe like 6th seed. And making somewhat of a run. Yeah. I feel like I was a little bit more confident before hearing the news about Wemby not actually having a complete offseason again. But I guess we'll see. We might have 2 top 10 picks again this year. Yeah, more than likely, it's looking like the Spurs going to have like a couple late lotteries. That's what it's looking like right now. So if that's the case, we're going to have to focus in on who might be available then and talk about them. Fly, Eagles, fly. Are you an Eagles fan? I didn't actually watch the Super Bowl. Didn't realize we had a De'Aaron Fox post game, but it's too late for all that. I like Flag and Bailey. Things looking pretty slim for us getting Flag at this point, but I agree. Yeah, lots of people want Ace. Back-to-back Rookie of the Year. If he doesn't win it, there will be a problem. Hopefully it'll be a back-to-back-to-back Rookie of the Year. He is? He's a free agent this season? Oh, man. Well, I'ma hop off. I think... What time do the Spurs play on Wednesday? Spurs... I don't even know who we play. We play the Celtics. All right, so I expect a lot of people be on the live stream, especially if we beat the Celtics. We play Wednesday and then we play Thursday. We have two. Gosh, that's misery. They have to fly from Boston. Oh, wait. They go back home. Never mind. That's after. Okay, we only have one more game. Okay. I was about to say, I was like, good God. Who created that schedule where you have to fly from Boston all the way to Phoenix? Okay, no, they have that break. All right, so we end off the rodeo road trip on Wednesday. So this should be a pretty big game. We really need this W. We'll match their energy. Well, I just really hope that Biyombo plays and we don't start Chris Paul with De'Aaron Fox. All right. Deuces. Everybody have a good night. And appreciate the super chat. I don't know why it disappears like that. From Francisco, and it disappeared. It always disappears. Shout them out earlier. It's gone now. Participants. It's gone now. That's stupid. All right. See you on Wednesday. Should be a good one.